Hey, this is Mary from Camaj Fiber Arts, and today I'm going to show you how to Navajo ply. I spun a single, a pretty thin single actually, and if you take your eszee twist tool, we can determine how thick this yarn is and how many twists per inch are in the yarn. So this is about a 25, I would say wraps per inch, not twists per inch, wraps per inch. So you could either look at it on your yarn gauge, or you could actually wrap it around here and figure it out. But it's way easier looking at the thickness gauge. Now, if you're like me, when I start to spin thin, because thin's kind of not my go-to weight yarn, but I wanted to really push myself and learn how to do that. So I have a tendency to kind of go back to the thick, so I'll use this yarn gauge to test it and make sure that I'm staying on track with the thinness that I intended to have, so it's not kind of all wonky. And then we're going to use the angle guide, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do with that. Okay, so I'm going to take my bobbin, and I spun the single on a 13.7 to 1 ratio, so it's a bit over twisted, but it's thin, so you want a fair amount of twist. But you want to over twist it a bit because you're going to take out the twist when you ply it back the other way, and then we're going to apply it to balance on a 5 to 1 ratio whorl. So here's my little lazy kit. I'm going to put that on there, and I like to have my lazy kit on a table so the yarn is parallel to my orifice. There's just less pull on the yarn. So I kind of started this already and what you need to do is you're going to tie your yarn to your leader. Now it's kind of stuck, sorry. You're going to tie your yarn to your leader, and then you're going to make a slip knot. And there's already a loop here. I'm going to open the loop up at the end. Okay. So if you hold the loop open, can you see the loop? And hold this part. You want to hold this part here so the twist does not travel down into the yarn and into the loop. So you're going to hold the loop, you're going to put your fingers through, let me show you this. Put your fingers through the loop, and then you're going to grab the yarn and pull it through. Now I'm going to hold this a little bit taut because I want the ply to be even, so if it wasn't taut, it just wouldn't be even. I'm going to let it go in, I'm going to put my fingers to the loop again, and I pull that yarn through. So if you can see that we have 3 strands of yarn, so we're making a 3-ply. Now a 3-ply is actually more of a rounder yarn versus a 2-ply. So a 2-ply is technically kind of a flat yarn and is good for knitting lace, but your rounder yarns are much better for knitting cables because it makes that design pop. Now, a lot of stuff's going on. I'm holding a lot of threads, but I want to hold this open and pinch as I'm bringing it down and let the twist travel. But I'm going to stop right here so that loop is still left open. So I reach in and grab that through. Okay, now let's talk about angle of twist. So I can come down and spin, 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 spin. Okay. And I'm going to check my angle of twist. This is pretty loose. That's about like a 25. Now that's very loose, and it's soft and puffy. But what might happen with this yarn, because it's not tight enough, that it may come apart as you're knitting. So I'm going to put the drive wheel, spin the drive wheel one more time, and look at the angle. Now the angle is about a 30. So it's getting a little bit tighter. I like the 30. So I'm going to go one more time. And now the angle's about a 40. So every time you turn that drive wheel, you get 10 more degrees of twist. Now, people like a 40-degree ply. It's kind of a nice, it's not hard. It's nice and soft. Now the more twist you put into it, the harder your yarn is going to feel. I remember I got some yarn back that someone had spun. I sent some alpaca to 3 people, and I got back one that felt like rope, and the other 2 are very nice, very soft. And I'm thinking, how the heck, if they both spun it by hand, did one feel like rope and the other one looked fine? Like, I had no idea what twist meant. What's twist per inch? What's a whirl? I had no clue. So I'm like, wow, that's really weird. And that was about the end of that. So if I hold on to this, and I'm gonna make the drive wheel go around a couple more times, I want to show you what happens. Look at all that twist we built up. Lots and lots of twist. So if this is where you're going to finish your yarn, at this point where it's so twisty, you're going to have such an overspun yarn, and you're going to have a hard time balancing it. And if you do balance it, that twist is just going to come back. So when I look at the angle, gosh, this is like a 60-degree angle of twist. So this is called a high twist yarn. Now you may want a high twist yarn to do like a crepe or some sort of weaving with kind of an interesting effect, or knitting. But if you want a balanced yarn, you do not want to go, I wouldn't say go over 40 degrees. So to get that out, I mean, I guess I could, I don't want to spin back the opposite way, it's not going to work. But what I want to do is pull that, gosh, come on, pull that single through, okay, hold it tight, run my hands up the thread, and the twist will actually travel up. So I'm going to look at this angle of twist again, and now it's about a 40. So that's how we correct over twisted yarns. We just run our fingers up, let the twist travel up, and it'll correct itself. Okay, so I'm going to let that go in and pull through again. Now I'm not one of those really fast Navajo ply spinners, like some people do it so fast, and you're like, wait, I can't see what you're doing. I just kind of take my time when I do my Navajos. I really loved Navajo ply, especially art yarns. Like, it is so cool to get these crazy bulky yarns into a Navajo. It just looks really neat. Now, if you don't know much about whorls and twist per inch or anything like that, you really need to learn it. That is the crux, the absolute crux of spinning. And if you don't know that, you're almost spinning blind, in the sense that you can't reproduce a yarn. You're going to take a yarn off your wheel and go, how the heck did I do that? You know, I mean, sometimes you'll get lucky and you get some really cool yarn, but then other times you're like, why is it over twisting? Why is my ply like this? You're just going to ask a lot of why questions, and you're going to waste a lot of fiber, a lot of energy, and you're going to get really frustrated, and you're going to quit spinning. So take the time to learn your whorls and what those mean, how they impact your yarn. And it's really not that difficult. Actually, if you look at the eszee Twist Tool booklet, it has everything you need to know about whorl sizes, how to measure them, what they mean, how to change them from just drafting more or less, or having your drive wheel go around more than once, that kind of thing. You know, and a lot of people will say, like, I remember reading somewhere about the country spinner that has like this massive whorl. I mean, it's probably like 2 twists per inch. And someone said, how could you spin a thin yarn on a wheel like that? Well, you can, but a lot of people would say you just have to treadle faster, but that's not true. What you need to do is hold onto your yarn and treadle more times to get the twist that you want in your yarn. Treadling faster is not going to do anything except make you tired. Okay, so once you kind of get the hang of the angle of twist, you kind of know, I mean, you can almost look at it, but you know, you can stop and check it again on your tool to make sure that you're exactly where you need to be. So get to know the technical side of spinning, because it will make you such, I'm telling you, it'll make you such a better spinner, whether you spin art yarn or really thin yarns. You know, there's a thing to spinning, and you can't, people say you can kind of do whatever you want, like there's no yarn police, but yeah, there's no yarn police, but you're not going to get the outcome you want, and your yarn's not going to hold together when you knit or crochet. So you want to make sure what you do isn't wasted time and wasted energy and wasted money. You want to make sure that what you make is sustainable and lasts throughout time. I can't tell you how much fiber I wasted when I was quote-unquote teaching myself the wrong way, of course, and not understanding whorls and twists per inch and all that. But now that I know it, I am a way better spinner. All right, hey, thank you so much for watching. You can catch me on YouTube under Camaj Fiber Arts. I have lots of other spinning videos, and CamajFiberArts.com. We do deals of the day. We have lots of sales, and I also do the spinning box, which is a monthly fiber box that has different fiber artists in it, and you get different stuff every month. There's a theme, and it's just so much fun. So thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.